Hi there, this is Rai,
This is Chris.
together we are part of a podcast, perhaps. This is We Hate Skill Windows, episode 11. Today we get to talk about the Immortal Emperor Luo Wuji Has Returned. We're gonna start it off by asking you, what exactly do you mean when you say this was more entertaining than Super Evolution?
Ooh, okay.
Because, Super Evolution, we gave that one a low score. It was like a 3.83.
Something like that, yeah.
And I genuinely, I gave this one to you, and I was like suggesting it because I feel like it's bad.
I I agree. It's not like
Y- Well, okay, I'll give it this much, right?
yeah,
It's wildly entertaining if you want. This is probably the closest to a pure power fantasy I have seen.
you're right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's power fantasies, right? Like all the things that we've reviewed are power fantasies. Theoretically speaking, they are all power fantasies. The main character is generally more OP than everything else. However, in none of them does the MC just brutally fucking slaughter every single person they come across. Except for this one. Um,
I like that he's consistent. Like
I like its consistency.
honestly, like no kidding. Like, in some of the other ones, like there are these people pretending to be, I don't know, something, or they're like they have like they're like cast as a good character, but then they like, I don't know, waffle around all this time. I don't know. They just do random crap. This guy, he goes straight to the point. Like there's no like waffling around with dialogue. There's no waffling around with like misunderstandings. No, you have a misunderstanding. You're dead. Like right there on the spot.
There's no waffling.
It's
He doesn't like your face. Cool, you're fucking dead.
this
Oh,
story
it's
honestly is like just like straight pure power fantasy, and I
It is the
appreciate that just a little
purest
bit.
power fantasy I've seen in a long, long time as well. And like, how to explain this, right? Like, the Lazy Lord masters the sword. It's a, is that even a power fantasy?
It's a little
I,
bit.
oh,
It's not
a
that much of a
little bit,
fantasy.
but Aaron's not really that powerful. More to, out of the ones we reviewed, what the fuck would constitute as a power fantasy?
Pretty
Worthless
much everyone but
regression.
Lace.
No, but like worthless regression, he's not really that powerful. He's
Okay,
like
but I
a
mean, I
worm.
feel like
I
he
guess
calls
that's the
himself
whole.
a worm, but he gets like incredibly powerful very quickly.
He calls himself
It,
a worm. He's still a very powerful worm compared to all the other worms in the world. Uh,
it's got like the same power
my daughter
panels
is
in
the
its base
final
of like him
boss.
beating Slug.
Like the main character is strong, yes, but he's not strong strong. He doesn't come out of the womb able to wield his like mystical arts or whatever. And like any of the other ones, even Super Evolution, well yeah, Super Evolution was like, oh, you've got a trash talent. No, Luo is to give a brief plot summary of this. So, the Immortal Emperor. So, in like the first few chapters, you get to be introduced to this guy named Luo Wuji. He is like, what is he? The heavenly demon or heavenly something? Heavenly god demon?
Emperor, God,
Emperor,
King.
sword emperor, what?
I
It's
think it's
some
like King
generic.
Emperor. Yeah,
Yeah, Qin Shi Huang or something.
yeah, something like that.
Luo Shi Huang. No.
Oh my god.
Um, Regardless of his title, he is like the supreme deity in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
deity
he's
world. His disciple was like, "Help me, I've been captured." And in a brief moment of humanity, apparently, he goes to save his disciple. But you know what happens? He gets betrayed. Who would have saw this coming? I like that it's very tropey as well. It's almost more comedy than like fighting, you know?
I can see that. Yeah.
Um, And so his disciple is like, hey, he gets betrayed by the disciple who demands that he hand over the Emperor Sutra, which is apparently something he uses to cultivate with. Uh, Still not explained what that is, by the way. But so he gets to the point where he goes and like self-detonates himself to stop. He self-destructs to stop them from getting his cultivation art
Technique, I guess.
technique. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he uh regresses, I guess, but for some reason the translation was like, "Oh, a reincarnation?" or
Yeah,
something,
no,
and I
it's
was like,
freaking not
"What?"
a re. He
He
regressed,
regressed. Like,
right?
how is
That
this a
was my first
reincarnation?
thought.
Unless
I think the translator note had the author calls it a reincarnation, but it's not. But we stuck to the original manhwa's writing or meaning.
that would make a bit more sense. Yeah, I don't know. He returns to when he was 20 years old and on Earth. That's all you really need to know. Now that he's 20 years old, he goes through a series of trials, but he still has his like base cultivation and just has to like restart,
Yeah.
but he's like advanced restarting. He's like restarting with like $50 in his bank account, whereas everyone else starts at zero. Not 50. He starts at like 3,000.
he, he's like
Yeah.
max skill tree in like a roguelike. Like you
He's
restart, but
like,
he has everything maxed out.
yeah, I don't know how to put it. He like starts out with his abilities sort of sealed, but like it doesn't matter because apparently him with his sealed abilities is still like stronger than most martial gods or something. It's fine. What you
Yeah.
need to understand if you want to read this one is do you want to read one where the main character is brutally overpowering anyone and everyone he encounters? Yes? Okay. You're in the right place. You're not here to see adversaries come up who can actually contest this guy. You're here to see this fucker beat the shit out of everyone possible. It's not like Saitama, because he's not a good guy. He's definitely not a good
I would
guy.
say he's like evil though.
He's
Like
not
he
evil, he's like chaotic neutral.
neutral. You're right.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say chaotic good. He's not really chaotic good.
Mm.
He's chaotic neutral. He like saves the blood demon corpse.
I don't know if saves is the right word for what he
he
did to that thing.
he he takes her under his wing.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, just to like how he yeah.
Also, this guy has like some serious revenge like beliefs. Oh my god, you slight him in like the slightest and he will go out of his way to make sure that you're the one embarrassed or dead.
Well, hold on here. Let's not
Oh,
forget that this thing inherently has the shittiest fucking dialogue in the world when it comes to that.
oh,
Uh,
you're right.
Here, hold on. I can at least put up one reaction image here. Uh,
This one really goes in all in on the trope that there's
hold
literally two
on.
people in the world, good people and evil people.
There are only two types of people in the world. Oh, no, hold on. I've got an image for us all. Here's
Oh,
this.
that happens. Oh
This
my god,
happened
that
actually
happens.
very late. This is like chapter 140 or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
realize that this happens still in chapter 140. This thing does not fucking change.
This trope happens so many freaking
So
times.
fucking often. It's literally a walking caricature of any other power fantasy. Chinese ones at least. Right? So this trope is very prevalent in Chinese manhwa power fantasies. It's the trope of, oh, you bumped into me on the street? You fucker, I'm gonna wipe out your entire family. I'm gonna stomp on your daughter's grave. It's like, what the fuck? What sort of people do this?
Apparently, everyone in
What sort
this
of person
topic.
is so disconnected? Like if I got beat up,
Uh,
right? And I go and talk to like my family about it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay, you want like me to go and talk to the teachers for you?" And then if the teacher's like, "Oh, you started the fight?" Yeah, then fuck you. We'll beat you too. Like my family's not gonna take my side blindly. No, these people, every single person that fucks with Luo Wuji, or Luo Chen, why does he go by two names? I forgot.
at some point, he creates an alias for his famous
For his
persona,
business,
so that
yeah.
when he confronted the Shen family, they'd think they'd think they're inviting the famous Luo Wuji when it's just him.
Wait, he created it just for the Shen family though?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I thought he went by Luo Wuji. But
I,
then
I
he
thought Luo
like
Chen was his name.
Luo Chen is his name, like his real name. But I thought he went by Luo Wuji
I mean,
in
it
like the
only really
deity world.
started. Oh, wait, really?
You know what? I don't know.
Okay,
Uh,
the only
hold
time it
on.
like actually mattered
We can
was
find
like
out. We just have to look back at it. Uh,
it seems like he only ever uses it for like his like famous persona. Like anyone who like actually knows him as Luo Chen.
yeah,
And then
hold
they
on.
just know about like the famous person Luo Wuji.
In the celestial world, what was he known by? He was known by Venerate Immortal.
That sounds about right. Uh,
uh, hold on. Do we have? Yeah, he was known as Luo Wuji in the mortal world.
mm,
So I suppose he didn't really make a separate name. He just like became a different name. I don't know. Hey, the 10 layered array, huh? Yeah, fuck you.
mm.
For having martial arts that make no sense, this one's like cream of the fucking crop. Um, Hell, Luigi kills people half the time by like flicking them on the forehead and their innards explode.
Yeah,
It
I
makes
like
no
how he
sense.
just like punches people and like hits them, or like no, his best move is the slap to the
The
face. The
slap to
author
the
loves drawing
face.
that.
The author's really good at drawing slaps.
And everyone else is using Cloud Fist or Thunder Demon or what was it Thunder Dragon Azure Sword or some other nonsense. And him, he's just like slap. Next panel, go.
Yeah, yeah. It's usually after the slap too that the minor villain decides, well, fuck you, I'm gonna go and talk to my grandfather's uncle, and he's a martial master god, grandmaster god, grandmaster, and he's gonna beat the shit out of you. He's one of the 13 chosen of the continent. You can't beat this fucker. And then the guy gets humiliated. And he's like, I don't believe that you killed my grandfather's uncle, grandfather. I'll challenge you. And he fucking eats shit. And then somehow this just repeats over and over.
I like how they find like new ways to say master. Like at the beginning, like,
Uh,
ah, yes, you're just the grandmaster. And they're like, oh my god, you're a martial warrior. Holy crap, it's a martial god. It's a martial saint. Why is saint above god, by the way? I don't
I mean,
know.
when they go by like martial artist, martial master, martial grandmaster,
Divine realm
and then I
transcendent.
okay, you're skipping a few steps there. Where's the divine realm transcendent saint then? Well, because saints are generally considered like past human, right?
Yeah, but I feel like God should be above them. I don't know.
It's true, actually. Well, yeah, and then you get to martial god, and then you get to martial demon. I don't know.
No, I think it's Saint after that. I think that's then they're like, oh yeah, then the Saint you can have
No,
the Saint
well,
card.
and then you get to like the weird fucker. Who's the guy? He's like consistently known as like I forgot what his name was. Like, do they just call him like the Qigong guy or something? You know who I'm talking about? The guy with gray hair, longish, medium-ish gray hair in the
Oh,
webcomic.
Master Zhang.
Yeah, he's like
He
known
was
as something else, like the
he was
illusionist
he
or
was
something.
he was the
Conjurer. They
something
call
like
him
yeah, like
like
some sort of
not
mage source.
sorcerer, I think they call
Yeah.
him. Yeah, I don't know. It, they claim that sorcery and martial arts are different.
Oh
How?
yeah.
They're
I
how?
they said that once you become a martial god, you can go down two paths. You could like you can ascend to the martial god realm by either like martial arts or you can learn like the mystical arts.
Mystical arts. It doesn't matter. Luo Wuji has both and all.
Yeah, apparently the Witch
It
ascended
doesn't
past that.
matter.
But I think it got really funny when they introduced the third system,
Oh yeah,
ability user.
ability users? You want to be trapped in a video game with this
Oh my,
fucker?
that was the craziest crap when they're suddenly like, SAO.
It was like shitty SAO. Shitty SAO where like you just drag random people in when they've touched a jade pendant like once in their lifetime, and that'll apparently transport you there. Once you're
Yeah, they're
there, everyone
gonna.
there, despite looking like innocent normal people, and most of them being innocent normal people, apparently still have martial art abilities, given that that one office lady in the first trial somehow still knew how to fight despite like being a normal person.
Yeah, I guess you
Uh,
become an ability user or something.
no, she wasn't an ability. I think she just knew martial arts somehow.
Oh yeah, probably. She didn't use anything cool.
She really didn't. Also, did you get to the part where they like kidnapped the disciple?
They kidnapped the disciple. Which disciple?
The original disciple. You know, the one
Okay.
that he is forced to become a disciple of, or have a disciple for in like the first 5 chapters. The girl he met
Yeah.
on the train.
Yeah.
They like kidnap her, and they're like, "We're gonna use you to find your master." And she
Oh, I
has
haven't
like
gotten to
no.
that part.
Oh yeah, well, did you get to the part where he's beating up werewolves and vampires?
No, not yet. I'm
Oh,
at the
you've got
part where
so
he
much to
killed
look
an
forward to.
entire city in the game world.
Oh yeah! He summoned a massive sword from the sky and obliterated like 1,300 people. And it was
Uh,
like, ooh, your karma only amounts to 1 million? Fuck you guys. Fucking poor bitches.
he's so ruthless.
Yeah,
Oh, I
like
will
some other
say though,
examples of of the shit that this thing pulls from you, right? He at one point he goes to like he doesn't even really he just like flies over to some like Buddhist mountain and he's like, "Hey, I'm here to kill your sect leader because he poisoned my mom." And the sect leader is like, "No, don't kill me." And then the sect leader's leader master shows up, who is apparently like a transcendent martial god or whatever the fuck. Or do they call them saints? I don't know. It's when the old Indian guy with the elephant shows up as well. And it's
yeah,
fine. Basically, Luo Wuji kills two, like, essentially, I don't know, they were like cultivating, they were at the cultivation level of like a god or a transcendent or something. But he
yeah, they
like
were
killed
a
them really
god.
fucking easily. And it didn't, at no point do you really see him getting particularly stronger, right? Like, you
Yeah,
don't
they
see him like recover his power. He only absorbs those two divine seeds in the beginning.
and at some point he absorbs like fire or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
they don't focus on him getting stronger. It's mostly just him beating up people.
Yeah, but every fight he says something along the lines of his internal dialogue being like, "Oh man, I I I'm still not back at my full power, but I have enough power to deal with you. And it makes you wonder. But I mean, in terms of a genuine review for this one, if you want a power fantasy that is legitimately and purely a power fantasy, then yes, this is the one for you. You don't want any dimension in your shit. He is arguably also one-dimensional. Yeah, he's got like family members he cares about, but his whole existence in the comic is just to be like overwhelming force, and every single person that comes across him either is forced to become his ally or they risk to death. In most cases, they die, and then
You're right.
in most cases they die or they watch their family members die, and then they swear loyalty to the man so they won't kill his their entire family.
Or to the people
Uh,
he really hates, he makes sure they undergo like horrendous trauma.
oh yeah, wait, didn't he like that one young master that was like cheating on his ex or something? And then he like say like make sure I've broken all of his limbs and then I mind crushed him. He'll be able to live, but like put him in a
Oh, yeah, like
jar.
yeah, put him in jar every 7 days. He's gonna get mind crushed again, or like body crushed again.
Yeah, it's fucking. Oh God. Oh, the shit this author gets up to. It's magical.
The family who poisoned his mom, he freaking got uh one of the brothers to shoot
He hired an
another brother.
assassin. He hired an assassin, uh, who convinced a brother of that family that poisoned his mom to to
To shoot
use
the original, yeah.
yeah, to use the assassin's gun to shoot the other brother that was conveniently being disguised as Luo Wuji in the other car or some shit, and then framed the whole family to fall apart. Then for
Yeah,
some
and then the
reason, when confronting the dad, he's like, "Oh yeah, do you know why I'm doing this?" And the dad's like, "Ah, ha ha, ah, ha ha, ah, ha," as it goes into like his manic state and just obliterates himself. Uh, how the fuck? Why are guns so OP in that world? I I thought like that family was like comprised of high tier martial artists.
no, they were just rich people.
Were they?
Yeah, no, they were just a bunch of rich people.
Oh, really? I thought they had like martial artist prowess. I don't know. It's never really explained clearly. Everyone you fight here or you see Luo Wuji fight is like apparently just medium level strength. Even the gods, they're like very mid.
Yeah.
If they're just rich people, then that makes sense. But I was like, how the fuck did you just get away with shooting people in the back and just executing them like that? Makes a bit more sense. Um, you want to just go and rate this one, or do you have anything else to talk about?
This
I
one
mean,
has a very nationalistic streak through it.
oh, yes, let's
So,
talk about the racism.
oh yeah.
Let's talk about the racism, shall we? Ah, yes. This is Chinese, as you couldn't tell. If you couldn't tell, you can. It's very, very written on the front page. Uh, in fact, there's like faction warfare. They talk about like Eastern techniques compared to like Southeastern techniques or some shit at some point.
Yeah, I guess.
And there's like Chinese martial masters who are like disgracing other Chinese martial masters or some shit. I don't know. And then at some point they're like, ah, yes, foreigners. Let's introduce the foreigners to the mix. Every foreigner that's in that is like blonde, white, and like also racist.
Indian.
Indian, yes. One Indian for representation's sake. Oh. Oh yeah, and then I sent you this screenshot as well, but at some point someone says, "How dare that group of yellow-skinned monkeys kill my acolyte?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "You really put that in there, huh? You think this is
Honestly.
how white people talk about you guys? Yellow-skinned monkey?" Nah, in this sense, in now world, it'd be like, "How dare these fucking Twinkies kill me?" You know, you never heard that?
Oh,
You're yellow on the outside, white on the inside.
I've heard banana.
Ah, yeah, same difference really. It's that feeling of like you're not really, you're not quite what you are, you know?
Yeah.
At least we would be bananas. Are we bananas or are we like slightly spoiled bananas?
Slightly small. Eh.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, yeah, it's got very nationalistic vibes. A lot of the people he fights are very origin focused, I guess. Like,
So they're just very anti-Chinese. Like all the foreigners are casted as being extremely anti-Chinese people,
yes, but
and
also like they're all like I feel like the author's like never taken a step outside of China. Um, like all the foreigners, they they dress up like middle middle age conquistadors almost. And though for some reason all the foreigners we've seen so far I think have been vampires as well. Hmm.
random mage people. I don't know.
There were the random mages that like ambushed that one guy like on the road, but they don't really show up again because they all fucking eat shit. But at one point he fights someone who is like apparently a foreigner participating in one of the martial arts tournaments,
Mm,
and the foreigner uses like secret demonic blood arts or some shit. It's later
yeah,
revealed
yeah.
that he's just a vampire. And if you keep reading it, you'll realize that the current arc, there are both werewolves and vampires, and they are all part of the
The game.
game. Yeah, the ancient game.
The game.
Uh, not only that, there's like a Greek pantheon. Like, you know how like oh, did you watch Zeus? Not Zeus. Thor: Love and Thunder?
No.
Cool. You really don't need to see it. But if you did see it or see the trailers for it and you remember how there was like a Zeus, imagine that guy but like in the game world as well.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. They're really trying to stretch out their horizons here or something. It's not very, how to put it. This one, it's just the same fucking thing over and over. It doesn't matter what's happening. He just beats people up and kills the rest. That's all that happens. There is no character development. There is no anything, progression. He's perpetually strong. This is what every power fantasy strives to be. And they fail. They fail because they want to be more organic. This one doesn't care though. This one's like,
I
what?
yeah, I was gonna say the part that all like the part where it really like hit me so hard was when in one of the games he's helping a girl carry like a pack up.
Oh.
And then
Oh
the game master's
yeah.
like, "Oh, one of you has to die," and like he was kind of like an ass, like he usually is on the way up. So everyone was like, "Oh, he has to die." And then even the girl who he helps carry the stuff up was like, "Oh," and she was like, "Oh, you're going to die anyway, so I just voted for you." And he was like, "You're the worst type of person," and he killed her.
N Not only that, he was slated to die. The game couldn't kill him. He
Yeah,
killed everyone
no,
else.
He just killed everyone else,
It,
including everyone who voted for him to die.
how?
It was such so insane.
Also, I have sort of co-opted this phrase for myself, but the fact that the actual manhwa legitimately multiple people say along the lines of, "That's impossible. He's a god grandmaster at this age. Unless he was cultivating in the womb, this would have never happened. Even if he was cultivating in the womb, this." They say that a lot. You notice
You're
that? It's
Yeah,
been said at
they're
least
all
like five
so
or six
shocked.
times.
Yeah, he's
Because
only
apparently
20.
he's only 20 years old. I checked into his records. He's 20, sir. There's no
I
way. Uh,
One of them was like, I checked his bone age. He really
I
is 20.
checked his bone age. I. Oh boy. You want to just read this one?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. Uh, art.
Mm, It doesn't really
Um.
have a lot of the really insane like art panels, so I'll give it just a.
Wait, an 8? Did I hear that correctly? Okay.
Oh,
I'm giving it a 6. It's not the best art in the world.
yeah,
It could be better if they were like putting effort into it. It's weird. They only focus on Luo Wuji just killing the shit out of everything. I
yeah.
mean, I guess that's the effort. They've got their audience. I can't fault them too much. The story is shit. The story gets a 3.
It is really
The
bad. I
story gets a 3
agree.
because I mean, at the very least, it's got a story.
It doesn't really have a story. He doesn't do any like he has no plot to his anything. In the beginning it had a little bit of a revenge fantasy going on, but that ended like somewhere around chapter 100-ish, but this
Well,
wasn't really
no, now his objective is to find out why the video game is happening.
yeah.
And that involves, in later chapters, you'll figure out that he like fights the crystal skull itself, and you're like, the crystal skull from like Indiana Jones? The fuck's going on? I think the author ran out of steam. What do you like to give this story?
I'll give it a 5.
Damn, you're so generous. Uh, the characters, we all love Luo Wuji. That's a 9 out of 10, baby. Uh, no. Aside from Luo Wuji, there's like no redeeming characters.
Yeah, the characters are
They're
not
all so
very
flat and one-dimensional.
and they're also copy paste. But it works really well with Luigi's personality.
Yeah, because he's quick-tempered and easy to just kill anyone that disagrees with him. He's just a warmonger. He's like how I play Civ. Except he has the power to back it up. It's like when you attack someone in Civ, and you're like, oh, Montezuma, you fucker, your time has come, and he shows up with like modern infantry,
Oh no.
and you're still in the Renaissance era.
Ugh.
And you're like, oh, I've got some pikemen over here. Um, is it saved by Lil Wuji though? He is pretty good. He's a great
I
character.
will say Luigi has grown on me a lot since the beginning.
You listen, there's a reason why I've been able to read this thing 3 times and not get bored of it. It's actually quite funny. Like, do you want to read a comedy webcomic? This here is for you. Uh, I'll give it a 4. I can't justify giving
So
it
hard.
higher just because Luigi's good. No one else is redeemable.
No one else is a very good character, I agree. And they're so copied. It I don't know why. It just like it just works out so well. Like like Luigi with those types of like stupid like irredeemable characters, like he just brings them so much.
Justice.
I
In
don't
a
know if it's
way,
justice. It's sort of like twisted
karma. Don't
karma.
know if it's
Yeah.
karma either. They didn't
Like,
deserve that. Like, do they? Some of them are like, "Oh, I'm gonna send my grandfather to beat you up," and then Luigi kills the grandfather, and then he hunts down the original person. He's like, "Ah, you sent your grandfather to threaten me. Now you will die. Oh, your sibling? Dead. Your parents? I'm gonna fucking kill them too." He's a murderer. Oh shit, he's just a murderer, isn't he?
I feel like the author is actually pretty good at writing dialogue. Oh.
Are you certain about that? I can write dialogue for the show. Just has to be
Okay.
along the lines of, "Hey man, what are you up to?" "Nothing much. Mind your own fucking business."
You're right.
What the hell? That little brat was so rude. He fucking scoffed. Does he know who I am? I am the famous son of the conglomerate. Fuck you, Core. I'm gonna get my dad and my guards to beat the fucking shit out of him. Sends guards over to Luigi's house. Doesn't hear back. Big trouble, boss! All the elites got defeated by the fucking kid that you sent to fight beat up. What? What do you mean? Luigi appears behind the guy. So you're the one who sent them over. What? Me? No. You know who you're messing with? If I die, my grandfather will never forgive you. Luigi snaps his fingers. Man falls over. End scene. That's it. That's
That was
literally
like
every encounter.
that was every encounter,
That's
right?
every single encounter. What do you mean the author knows how to write dialogue? He
Uh,
he knows how to write the same scenario over and over and make it still sort of justifiable in a way
He's
because they're
mastered the
so
art of that.
egregiously bad characters that you're like, well, yeah, fuck you too. Like it's almost like a shittier teenage mercenary, right? Like, I mean, if you think about it, teenage mercenary, at least he's like learning how to play League now. But like, otherwise, it's also just a power fantasy. But he's also not immortal.
Yeah. I think this author has mastered like one form of revenge fantasy dialogue, and he copy pastes it over and over because he
it,
knows you're.
there has to be a specific skill for this as well, I will say.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we tried to write something like this, well, no, we could still write it. I have great faith in both you and I that we could write something very similar to this. In fact, we could probably draw this shit. Just have like a guy walking down the street, he's wearing a dark hoodie and jeans, and he looks like he doesn't want to talk to anyone. And a man bumps into him and is like, "Dude, what the fuck? You bumped into me on the street? Apologize. Give me all your money." And the guy like keeps walking, and the guy like grabs the shoulder and is like, "Hey, did you hear me, bitch?" And then the guy in the hoodie like swings his arm, and the man's head falls off. It's like that. That's it, really. It's like power fantasy fetish or something. Like
uh,
this goes beyond a just a story. The author like really wants to bring out the point that Luo Wuji, did you know he is overpowered? But did you know he's really fucking strong? And in the case you doubted that he was strong, he's really strong. Well, you gotta give it a something out of 10.
okay, I'll give it a 5 out of 10 again.
Again, you haven't. Oh, you gave it a story 5 out of 10. Alrighty. Okay, what do we got then? Uh, okay. We got
Oh, okay.
a. What is this? A 7 and a 4?
7 plus 4 plus 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes out to 5.16.
You know, it
That
sort of hurts
makes a lot
me
of
that
sense.
we enjoyed this one more than Super Evolution. But Super Evolution had no redeeming qualities. It was
It
not
was
funny. It was
just
just
so
bad.
bad. He was
Ugh.
so conceited, but for like no reason. Like he struggled so hard, and he'd always come on the end like he was like the right, like most righteous person. This guy, he doesn't even pretend to be righteous. He's just you betrayed
But
me,
at the same
dead.
time, you can't really call Luo Wuji an asshole, right?
He's
Like,
not, yeah, or he's a little bit. He's a little bit.
well,
He like
no,
ignores people all the time.
he's he's a Sigma male.
He's the Sigma.
He's what do you
Uh,
call a Giga Chad? Um,
uh,
I mean, listen, like if you had, like if you were Luigi's like best friend, he would fucking kill the universe for you, right? It's like incredible.
yeah.
But if you were his enemy, he'd kill the universe and then revive you so he could kill you again. Like it's very,
Right.
it's very petty.
He's incredible.
It's,
And he really, the author goes over the top with some of these. Like, oh my god, sometimes they just have to make like they just have to challenge him, be like, oh, you think you're so strong? Literally, next panel, slap into wall,
yeah, you
bleeding,
think you're so
decapitated.
strong? Fight me without any weapons, fucker. Oh, well, I'll fight you with one hand behind my back, and if I move from the spot, I still lose. He uses a finger to parry a blade. I. It's like if
Uh,
you turned on like creative mode in some game, Valheim with the cheat sword.
with the cheese.
Like,
Oh
do
my
you do
god.
you remember fighting those trolls? Those trolls fucking hurt the first few times we fought those trolls. Not with the cheat sword. Not with the cheat sword. You can even Detsukito him with a cheat sword. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know.
It
Uh,
was strangely entertaining.
It
I
was
honestly,
comedy. It was actually like peak comedy. I don't
this
remember any of the other screenshots I sent you, but you can see from even the screenshots that I think very highly of this, obviously.
it was so outrageous. Some of the decisions the author made, it jumps around so much, but it's like essentially just the same revenge plot over and over. But it's just done so well. I don't know.
Done so well is a great way to say something that was not done balanced, but it is done well. Here's another screenshot while we're at it. It's the same variation of the same dialogue, but different. This one's
Oh my
unique.
gosh, I don't even remember that character.
He
Oh
I don't even remember when I I think he's like the owner of the restaurant that the dad and him go to, and
no!
with Van
That was
Bayer,
him.
and
Oh,
he's like the
okay.
boss of the restaurant. I think that's the guy.
Okay, yeah. I recall that scene.
But
Oh,
boy, does this still not.
that this just
Very
happens
well, you're
so
the
often.
first person that has ever shown disrespect to me right in my face. The first person. You're telling me in your lifetime of like you're not even that rich. How the fuck? The first person?
Uh,
It was either that or he was the like brother of the family that he like murdered.
yeah, something like that. The author writes haughty character, like his author is not very creative with characters in general, but he can write, or whoever the author is, can write a lot of variations on the same dialogue. Very, just a lot of it. Like they're like there's just so much variation of the exact same meaning being said.
Yeah, it's a pretty magical feeling, I'll say.
Oh,
Genuinely quite magical.
I don't know why. It was just honestly
A
fairly
good time.
entertaining.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was like it was very funny.
Yeah,
It
I agree.
also, like, if you want to read something and just feel like, yeah, fuck you, yeah, fuck you too. Oh, you, yeah, get fucked. This is the thing to read. You want to see people just get killed for like raising their hand in the restaurant, and then Luoji being like, the fuck are you raising your hand for?
Put it
Like,
back down. Put it back down.
put it back down. No, I don't want to put my hand down. Then you die.
It doesn't even think. You just cut to a panel of him slapping the person.
Yeah, and he slaps him so hard that his head falls off.
Oh my god.
There is
Luigi's.
no such thing as rightful revenge, technically?
Yeah,
No,
not really. Yeah.
technically the
I
family
don't.
did poison his mom, right? But did he have to go and kill the entire family and also the sect that manufactured the thing and then kill them all too? Did he? Did he
Yeah,
have
he
to?
did. He did
He
everything.
did have to, right? Yeah, he did have
Yeah,
to.
yeah, no.
It was
But
justified. He needed to do it.
see, yeah, no. Killing is fine. Murder is okay.
Luo Wuji be like, the purge? That's every day. Murder is legal as long as I'm alive. Oh boy. I'm surprised that you gave the art an 8. Oh.
I didn't think it was that bad, honestly.
I mean, I,
It wasn't as as
it's not
impressive as
as
some of the other ones.
polished looking as a lot of the
Yeah,
other
you're
ones.
right.
And for a manhwa like wuxia novel, they don't focus on the techniques barely at all. It's just Luo Wuji has the power to like blast people's heads off with his hand, and yeah, he's really good at slapping people. Like, what else does he do? He like flies occasionally,
Plus, he does
and
the
like
occasional
occasionally the other
chi
martial
barriers.
artists use like steals or whatever. Steele, that thing.
Oh, I don't recall, but yeah.
I don't know, but like they rarely do anything. And then and then where you left off, he summons a magic big fucking sword and kills like 1,000 people.
He just does all sorts of crap. Oh,
He has no
literally,
shame. What is shame? Killing 1,000 people? Oh man, you guys were all fucking poor. Like, you should
okay,
have given
so
me
I
more
remember
points.
this one guy who happened to be Chinese was killing everyone in the city. And finally, they chased him and they're all like, "Yeah, you Chinese fuck, get out of here!" And Luigi goes there and is like, "What did you say? Who? No. Now you all have to give me your points, or I'm killing you." Okay, we're killing you.
I mean, technically you simplified it a little bit. The guy who was like, "Yeah, get out of here, you stupid fuck." He also said like, "Eastern cultivators are trash."
You're right.
And then Luo
Yeah.
Wuji is like, "Oh well, hold on, I can't let that slide." And the guy's like, "Oh, you're here to defend this man's honor?" And he's like, "No, fuck that. I'm here to defend Eastern cultivation's honor."
He's.
Truly a shining beacon of justice, this man.
Oh.
Hey, he's uh he's a fun one. It's a fun one. Okay, time for the important questions. What the fuck are we doing next?
Good question. Uh.
What do you want to do next? I suggested the last one. You can suggest one. What form of
mm,
trash are we reviewing this time? Will it be real trash or will it be less trash?
feel less trash. Uh. What do you want to read? SSS Gotcha Hunter.
I really don't. I really don't. But I'll read
uh,
it. Oh,
that was not even entertaining. It's just the generic. This person's so cocky and
I read like
he's not
20
even.
chapters of it and I was like, this is just him summoning gacha pulls. Oh, you really want us to suffer? Yeah, we'll suffer. We might as well actually review some trash. For a show that's like, oh, I hate skill windows. Have we hated anything that has skill windows?
Honestly,
I don't think we have.
we
This
a
one
lot
has
of
skill windows. We
them
can shit on this one's rates.
we haven't really reviewed anything that uses skill windows.
We
Yeah.
have. We have. We just haven't reviewed them that like abuse skill windows or anything.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
would
There's
have
some
to
that have like, yeah,
listen
yeah.
when the day comes and you've gotten past your trauma of lone spellcaster and you're willing to review that again. Then we'll have some real
Oh.
fun with a man who does not deserve the power he has, does not deserve to use magic missile over and over, and does not deserve anything that he owns.
Oh, Lone cast spellcaster gives me multiple headaches and makes me
And then
groan
when we're
like
done with
literally
that, we
every
can review the
panel.
gamer.
Oh, ah,
You
oh,
wanna?
the 1-2 punch.
No, no, no. The 1, 2, 3 would be the gamer, the lone spellcaster, and dice.
Oh, right.
The trio of goodness.
Oh, oh no.
And it's not to say that Dice is bad. Dice just got really boring halfway through.
Yeah,
God, I just
Dice's
remember.
characters learn nothing. I think the author just wanted to drag out a story for a bunch of chapters because that's what just everyone was doing at the time.
Yeah, the author also decided to waste like at least 100 chapters, if not 200 or so, on a battle royale because that was like what was popular at the time.
Yeah.
And
At
I
least
mean,
God of High School restarts the story. What were you saying?
at least God knows. I they it's like they technically restarted the story, not really though. Uh, if you think about it, Dice is like more like Lookism than you think. It's
Oh,
about
how it starts off as a story about people
poor bullied
who.
kid, bullied because of his height and appearance, and then he like gets the power to change. And what does he do with it? He becomes more popular and doesn't care about the poor people anymore. That's what happens. That's what
Oh.
happens. It's fine. You know what? If there is like, you know how all the power fantasies are the ones where you get to like pick a power to emulate or something?
Yeah.
I'll just give me the power to materialize Luo Wuji's power, alright? I swear I won't use it for anything bad. It's just, I'll go to the casino and I'll just win. And if they don't let me win, then their family dies. Theoretically, that's horrible. I would
Yeah,
never
no,
do such a
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
In a
yeah.
video game,
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
In a video game,
In a video
hypothetically.
game, hypothetically in Minecraft, I'll put on creative and then I'll just throw harpoons at people. It's basically the same thing. You get that one thing on the harpoon where you can like charge it up, or when you strike something, like they get lightning struck. Or, yeah, the power of Minecraft would be pretty good. Get the ability of creative mode Minecraft. You just like float around and drop anvils on people.
Ooh,
You
good.
just you don't like this certain neighbor. You go to their house and you put a command block under their house that spawns infinite chickens. You remember
Oh,
that,
you
right?
just hear clucking noises all
Yeah.
times of the day.
It's like what Winton did for you. The cluck timer. It's very funny actually.
Oh, that was a special type of evil.
Special type of evil. Their whole family deserves to die by Luo Wuji's mates. Their whole family? No, their entire extended family. I'll kill everyone, he says. Yeah, I don't know. Comedy, this one is. It's comedy in the worst way possible. Like, did you want to read about people just eating shit? then yeah, this is perfect for you. This is what you wanted. But if you're like here to actually read about like, this isn't like the world after the end. This isn't like um Lazy Lord or anything. There's no like character progression. It's just Luo
Yeah.
Wuji is an unstoppable force. No one is his equal, and we imagine no one will continue to be his equal. Seeing how even the high level players are like trash in front of him. So, I mean,
We also haven't read one that's highly story driven, which is a bit unfortunate.
wait, we have though.
Hmm?
We read fuck, I'm blanking on the other name. Doombreaker?
Did we read Doombreaker?
We did. It's just listed under a different name in Asura.
Oh, Battle
Reincarnation's
God
Suicidal
something.
Battle God. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That one
yeah.
is story driven, and it's got good art, and it's got decent characters, and
Yeah, okay.
you know, or oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't actually want to like review, my school life pretending to be a worthless person or something. But you're right in that aspect. We should just review trash for now. Uh, that one's good. If you want to find a good one to read, My School Life Pretending to be a Worthless Person. Very great, very fun.
I agree.
It's so nice. And he's not worthless. That's the joke. The joke is he's actually strong. Who could have thought? Who could have
Oh,
predicted this one? Hey, well, that's it for now, I suppose. I feel like I always forget to say this because I never like record these with the intention of like having actual follow up with it. But thank you if you're out there and you're watching this shit for some reason. It is appreciated. Eventually, if we can grow this channel to like, I don't know, 50 people, that's a harsh goal to meet. 20 people. How much are we at right now? Like 8, I think. Regardless,
yeah.
if we can get somewhere with this channel, then we can go and try to do more. And, maybe this can culminate with like you and me writing our own power fantasy. We can just make the Immortal Emperor Luo Wuji 2. We can we can call it like Heavenly Swordmaster is reborn as a eunuch or something. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what a
No.
eunuch is?
No.
Oh, the people who are like castrated?
Oh,
Like the people
okay.
that are used as like they're usually like retainers in ancient China. They're like very trustworthy because they're castrated.
Okay, I get it now.
But yeah, what if like the Heavenly Swordmaster is reborn as a eunuch? Oh yes, that'd be very funny, haha. And then it can be very racist and very homophobic, like all the Chinese ones, where every single time the main character interacts with another guy, he has to hold his hand up and you're like, hold on, I didn't mean it like that. I don't love you, but I need your help right now. And then afterwards, I'll suck your dick or something. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
and every time there's like some gag character in those where they're like, oh, but I actually like you, young master. And the guy's like, oh, but I'm not into men. It's like, oh, I get it. Well, that doesn't matter to me. And the comic just reiterates its no homo policy apparently. I've yet to see one where like they actually welcome LGBT relationships or anything. I I don't think there's one out there.
Hmm.
Well, it's fine. That's the end of this review though, unless you have anything else to add about this one.
No.
No? Yeah, that's fair. What are we reviewing? The SSS class Gacha Hunter?
Okay.
What's it called actually? I don't recall.
Uh,
SSS class Gacha Hunter, yeah. I got it basically. Man, SSS class people all have it rough, huh? We'll have it
there.
be
Oof.
what's the color for Genshin? What's Genshin's main color? Like green?
I guess. I think
Green for
so.
Venti?
Green for Venti.
Green for Venti. Green for Venti. Time for Venti time next week. Venti time. Alrighty, that does it for this one. You ever think this show should be like shorter? I feel like we
Yeah,
always ended around
probably.
like an hour, but like who the fuck's gonna listen to an hour?
That's true. They
So
probably
maybe
listen
we
to
should
10
just
minutes
like,
at max.
yeah, they listen to 10 minutes, they don't even get to my bit about like pretending to be acting out a scenario. That was great acting, by the way. Oh, A plus. Gonna win an Oscar for that shit. Um, yeah, maybe if we can, because I know that we can like end it around 30 minutes. I think we just like talk about shit. But that's sort of what a podcast does. But
Yeah.
it's hard because it's hard to just like create a podcast out of nothing and expect people to like listen to this shit. It's so much easier to like make a podcast out of an existing brand and just use that instead. I don't know. Food for thought. Food for thought? Food for thought. Yeah, in the future. Anyhow, we will see you next week for SSS Class Gotcha Hunter. I'm not looking forward to this. I am genuinely not looking forward to it. I remember how this one went the last time I read it. I do not expect it to have actually changed or gotten any better. I
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna be as quite enjoyable as weirdly Emperor Luo.
Yeah, because the main character is gonna be nerfed.
Yeah, and
He's
the
not
main
gonna be that
character's just
strong. He's not even that
I don't know.
likable. Luo Wuji's likable
Yeah,
because he's a piece of shit who kills people for fun. He's not
yeah.
evil
All
though.
these. This is probably going to be the same trope as all the ones where he's like, "Oh, you're slave number one." Ha ha ha.
Slave number one, slave number two. Yeah, that is how. Uh,
Yeah.
God, gotcha polls. Speaking on the gotcha poll, if you're watching this like today or tomorrow, and the Powerball, in the U.S. at least, is still at like 1.9 billion, go and gotcha yourself.
Yeah.
Go and
Uh,
do the IRL gotcha, huh? Get
yeah.
yourself
Yeah.
maybe something. Uh,
Four
I don't
dollars.
think they were supposed to do the Powerball roll like yesterday, but it was delayed.
Oh.
Wait, hold on, hold on. There was
Oh
a
no!
winning
Did
ticket
someone
sold?
win?
A single
God
ticket.
dang it!
Wait, what? No, I didn't
Was
win
in some
anything, did
random
I? It
state.
was in California. Ah,
Those
fuck.
bastards.
Those fuckers. You mean I didn't win jack shit? Not a single number? I matched one number. It wasn't even the right number. Oh. Winning tickets sold for 2.04 billion Powerball jackpot.
Jesus
Holy
Christ!
fucking shit. God. What?
Lucky bastard.
It was sold in a small community near LA. Oh,
It's not fair.
it's not. Why can't we get it? Oh, what the fuck? Holy shit. Actually, what the fuck? Why do all winners opt out for cash? Huh. Well, not to scrutinize this on the podcast section, because I just sort of upload these and I don't really edit them. That's the secret. I don't I don't really want to edit them. But I could see if I could edit them in the future and make them a bit more cohesive as well. But then we'd cut out all the horrible bits where we just shit on things harder. Well, that's that for the recording. Thank you for watching. Do you have any other end notes to end on?
No.
Cool. We'll see you next week. See ya.